Hello and welcome to another random drop-in. I am Unnormalism and this is Age of Empires 2. And here we have an 8-player arena game. 4 versus 4, we'll chuck the score up there. You know what, we'll get rid of all these tooltips, we don't need them. We're all good at the game, whereas tooltips? Get lost. I'll just quickly pop out again to full vision so you can see what's going on. And boy oh boy. So, all the players in this map are 1,000 ELO or lower. With the exception of 1 or 2 who were slightly above it. Lowest player was around 776. So roughly even, not exactly perfect, but pretty close to even. Should see some standard sort of gameplay. I rate myself roughly in line with this. Maybe a little higher if I try hard and I practice for a bit, you know, and I get familiar with the gameplay. Then yeah, I'm a little bit better at the game. Orange immediately scouting the back corner, making sure there's nothing there to worry about. I approve. And Arena is a very interesting map type where you start with a nice big base. Nice big wall locking you in, very safe. Allows you to do a lot of things. You're seeing a lot of players are immediately going out and laying down a layer of walls of houses against the wall, so even if the enemy does bust out of the front wall, they'll still have to get through that second layer. Personally, I don't know if that's super important. I feel like something that's not so important, or it's not really discussed at certain levels of the game, is how you lay out your base. It's something that comes up more in other RTS games with clunkier paving, bigger paving units. You know, you're more likely to get traffic jams and things. In Age of Empires, units are actually very good at being fluid and moving around each other. But what you basically want to do is, the reason you wall at the start of the game with your buildings in like a little square around you, it's not so much to... Yes, it's to stop enemies coming in, but it's to control the flow of traffic, right? If you force your enemies always into a specific path, then it favors you entirely. And when you have your military buildings on the outside of this ring, you can have your military units pop out outside of the ring, so they don't get stuck inside and have to walk the whole way around. Unfortunately, I can't demonstrate that with anyone's base right now. But it allows you to control the flow of where your units pop out and go from, and makes you just that tiny bit more efficient in combat and gameplay. It's little details like that, and you might see that's why pro players, when they build, especially late game, oh, save to the build, nicely done, Yellow. Pros, especially in the late game, you'll see when they build a bunch of barracks or something, they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll be scattered, and there's gaps between them, and that's because they don't want to block their own units' freedom of movement. They want all the units, when they come out, to be able to pave quickly and efficiently together into a big clump, or at least as smoothly into a group as they can. And so while I think I have no problem with putting the houses along the edges of the wall, I think if an enemy happened to break in, like get through your gate or smash down one section and get inside, this is one giant open area for them to run around in. If you built houses in a traditional fashion, where you sort of built off the corner of this gold, like up to these trees or something, and you just had a little semblance of structure in your base to lock out movement, free movement, then you could really have a slight advantage in those circumstances. I know it seems like you're sort of gambling on those circumstances happening, but it also makes a little bit of sense for it to happen. Then again, I'm sure if you watch pro players, they don't give two damns about this. And this is why I rate myself in amongst this skill level. not a pro player. Definitely more in the casual, have fun kind of play. And that's why I like this map as well. It's a nice big boxy map. You got this nice big area in the middle. You can get some you get a very safe base, so you can build up and prepare, but you can also have some very scrappy gameplay in it that makes for an interesting time. Like, you could, if someone wanted to be a jerk, they could scout that gold, or maybe they couldn't, maybe they could only get to the edge. But then they could place a tower there, and that'd range most of that gold. There's a bigger patch of gold in the back. It's not that big of a deal, but, you know, you can get some interesting circumstances. You get a lot of gold in these back pockets. 7 tiles, and then 4 more in the front. Unfortunately, you barely have to do any scouting in this start, because you've got this whole row of walls that gives you vision along the edge, so you can see stuff like this stone. Let's see if Blue can actually see that. Blue. And we drop the fog. Yeah, so Blue can immediately see that there's stone there. Blue can immediately see that there's gold there. And blue can see green scout running around outside. I think they might be allied. Yeah, they're allied. What you'll find is it's southeast versus north, southwest versus northeast. I always get my east and west confused. Orange, pink, yellow, and red are on a team, but blue, green, teal, or aqua, and grey are on a team. Is that teal? Is that aqua? It was teal to me in Warcraft 3, but it's definitely more of an aqua color to me nowadays. I like this use of the mill. It's a bit late hunting boars compared to what would be considered meta, but as a low skill player, this is entirely acceptable way to play. You see the boar is very close to the mills, so which next to the berries, so it's a logical position to just pull everything together. So we're just gonna keep this game going for a little while. Getting through the early age, people starting to move up to the feudal age. Pink first to the feudal age as the Persians. That's the Persians. Then we've got yellow over here as the Mongolians. Red is the Franks. And what is orange? Teutons? I believe that's Teutons. Grey leading his team as the Koreans. Then down here, teal also as the Franks. Good cavalry. We've got Mayans in green. Green is playing the Mayans. And then blue is... That's Saracens? No, that's like Vietnamese. Japanese. Wow, I was very off. I haven't seen the Japanese emblem that much. I don't play them too much. I like the Mesoamerican civs. I don't know, something about Mesoamerican civs, they're really cool. Is it Mesoamerica? The Aztecs, Mayans, and Incas, I just love them. I don't love not having cavalry. I feel like that's really painful, but I think the idea of having them in the game is really cool. They're a really cool addition, and I think they all have really cool benefits. Feels a little non-conventional to play them, and that kind of thing always draws me to it. And we've got pink going for a fast castle, which is very interesting. I believe they're using... No, they're just the Persians. I was going to say Saracen markets, but no, they're the Persians. They're just rushing up to the castle age, and I presume they're going to use that to build a bunch of town centers and start booming. But I'm not sure how confident I feel in it. How's everyone else doing? We've got Teal gathering about every resource in his area right now, getting some wood, gold, stone. There's his main gold, so hopefully he'll move to that soon. But he's collected the boar, collected the resources. Green over here, getting his berries now, moving to a lumber camp more in the distance. Building the barracks and the arch range, and this was the thing I was talking about. It boxes in your base, but it still allows your units to get out. If a unit spawned on this side, they would have to walk around these things. So you always want the units to pop out on the side you want them to pop out on. So make sure you set those rally points. I think that can allow you to do it. Most RTS games of a decent quality have some sort of rally manipulation in there. And there we go, pink is straight into the castle age and red is trailing along the way. And it'll be interesting to see what pink goes for now. Seems to be going for economy upgrades. There we go, town center. Yep, gonna go straight for that boom. And jumped ahead in the score now that they've gone up to the castle age. And red's keeping good pace. Red will probably take the lead, if not... We'll see what happens when red gets castle age, but yeah, it should be good. Grey over here, still continuing, pretty standard. No early aggression, partly because... Oh no, I lied. Grey has come over here to early aggress orange, building 2 towers, and now bashing on the gate with peasants and a scout. Probably should turn the tower on the gate if you're going to attack it so aggressively in the attempt to bust in, but this appears to be a tower rush from Grey. That's kind of cool. Red's coming over now to maybe give it back. Inadvertently walking right in. Could have let Grey in, but Grey was not paying attention there. Yeah, tried there. Oh, good. It was a good attempt. I really admire that. That was really cool. And now we see that Orange is going to throw up a tower. Got some spears in the back to defend. And we're going to see a tower fight go on here. But we've got the towers already sort of crisscrossing over, and you see Red Scout can get targeted. So any hope to support by attacking the towers is very dangerous and risky. This tower should go up first, and we'll see what happens in terms of if they have Bodkin Arrow or Fletching at this point in the game. And we see one of the... well, you need to garrison that tower if you hope to take down this tower, but we've got the crossover fire from here, and we will see these spears slowly get picked off by this supporting tower. And Grey is also doing devastating damage across to the tower because it's not garrisoned. Hopefully these spears go into that tower to garrison it and provide some more arrow fire. No luck. Alright, so now Grey's going to just keep on doing this. This is definitely the highlight, but we've got down here, Blue is also tower rushing and pushing it on Red, who went fast, or relatively quick, to the castle age, and now there's a lot of pressure being applied by Team 2. Sorry, I'll call them Team 1. They're the even-numbered team. So Team 1 is really applying the pressure to Team 2. Team 2 who favoured a more rush to the castle age boom strategy, whereas Team 1 went on the aggression, trying to knock 1 or 2 players out of the match early. And you see now the Team 2 is actually slowly starting to get to the castle age as well, with green on the way, teal's already there, so they're the pocket players, which means they're in the back. So you kind of expect those players to focus more on booming or going for archers or something like that, while your players on the edge are more intended to go aggressive, which is why Red going quickly for castle is a bit of a difference. Not to say it's gone poorly for Red. Red's going to get this archer range up, get a couple of archers out. This should just go away. It's very hard to bust down these stone walls, and it's very easy to wall up behind them, as Red has done with this barracks. And now we see a town center here. Any attempt to come in will just lead straight to that town center, and you know, placing a couple of houses will funnel them entirely this way around the town center. Not in a place they want to be. Different story for Orange. Orange is sort of surrounded here, getting pushed from resource to resource. If Grey gets a tower there, then Orange is in a really bad shape. Orange is in a really bad position anyway. Orange does not currently have any gold production. It needs to get some of these villages over here mining gold if they want to remain relevant in this game, but it seems like they're kind of just going to be hoping that their allies can help them out at this point, because they don't have a lot going for them, whereas Grey has so many towers in here, just applying an oppressive field of damage. But they need to be careful not to overcommit, because it could be very easy for Orange to just take all these vills and come vill fight and kill them all off. Down here, yep, Blue was driven off by just that couple of archers, which is no surprise. Green's come over with arbalests. Is it arbalests? Crossbows. Crossbows and Eagle Scouts to try and apply some pressure, but here we now have a castle, and that'll completely shut this down. That tower will go down. Yeah, everything here is not going to happen anymore. Gonna sneeze. Excuse me a moment. Oh, that was terrible. Now Blue's going up to the castle age. Grey is already there. The only two people lagging behind are Blue, who is on the way, and Orange, who is getting towered all over the place. And now we see a town center going up and we see guard tower for Grey. So if this town center completes, Orange is... Yeah, so Orange is going to try and run over here, I presume, to start mining there, but Grey's got... He's got a town center in Orange's base. And Orange has nowhere to really go and is now losing vills all over the place. Orange probably just needs to exodus somewhere. And now we see Green's going to come around, and they're going to try and apply as much pressure onto Orange as possible, eliminate them from the game, and then they're free to play a 4v3 game. However, Pink has been very quiet in the back. We see now a castle going up for Blue, still trying to bash in, but Pink has been very quiet for a long time and has been booming. So let's have a little quick look down here. Do we have a village account? Village account, 59 on Pink, the greatest number out of anyone, and then Yellow is the next highest on 54. I just went up to 60 and 57. So they have boomed amazingly. They need to use this momentum to propel them even further forward, and Orange is going to the castle age now. Good showing from Orange, but it might be too late. If Grey gets a siege workshop in here and starts... wow, we've got vill fights going on. Yeah, no, I think ignore that. Build a siege workshop, get rams, and ram down things. Anything in Orange's base. Orange doesn't have enough to fend this off. And we see the castle now hitting this range, kind of pointless, but it still works. I mean, I say it's kind of pointless, like it'll eventually do something, but this castle isn't busting into the base, it's not threatening a resource, it's not protecting a resource. If it was a little bit further over here, it would be denying the stone, maybe stables and archery range, pressure the gate as well. Just give a little bit more aggression on there, but this position here is a very useful one for the castle, except to maybe stop red from running out the gate, potentially. But it's not a strong commanding position, basically. Certainly not as strong as what went on the other side of the map, and now we see orange attempting to get a castle up, but the Vils are in range of this tower, so they're going to be getting shot while they work. Grey kind of needs to target a little more carefully. Yeah, this seems like the right position to abandon, and I like this as well, garrisoning the Vils, because more of orange's villagers are going to die to this castle, to this tower fire, than building another tower. See, another Vil goes down, this Vil's low. Oh. Hailing arrows. And there's another Vil down, and we see a counter tower from Grey, using Vils built from this town center. Send your Vils back to gather resources. Again, Siege Workshop, building a single mangonel or a single siege ram to take out the town center would have been enough to take orange out of this game. Now blue is going ultra aggressive over here, and red doesn't have a military. Oh yeah, a little bit of a military. A few obelisks could actually take these units by just going inside and shooting from... I don't know, maybe it's hard to get a safe position there. That's actually pretty well done from blue in that regard, where red can't quite get a safe position because of these two buildings being positioned so awkwardly. The castle would be able to shoot anything that came into this corner. As you can see, the castle is doing. So this is a good position. Blue can pressure kind of freely without them being able to stop. But what have we got? Yellow is now building a massive number of houses. So I assume we're going to see some military going up pretty soon. Monasteries. Here we go. Two stables. And pink is the Persian player. So we'll see some cavalry soon. Cavalry archers maybe. And we see the town center is almost dead for orange. And orange has no other town center. It's going to be really hard for them to get back into the game off the back of this, if at all. Like realistically, it's this kind of feels like a death position for orange, and Grey has been in the meantime completely untouched and allowed to boom as they will. Speaking of, Vil count is 100 for pink, 93 for 100 for yellow, 93 for pink, while Team 2 is trailing in basically every aspect except over orange. Team 2 needs to be very careful that they do leverage their 2 against 1 advantage. And we've got a second castle going up from orange. I suspect that they must have bought stone using gold, which is quite something. And we see some units bashing on this front gate. They're not going to achieve anything. That'll be a quick kill for green. See some trade immediately going out here. And now we see a castle coming out from red. Very aggressive, kind of surprising. What do we got, pink? Do you have just an army of monks currently, but we're waiting to see the cavalry come out from pink. Pink is currently just going to the Imperial Age. Oh, okay. Pink and red are going Imperial right now. We see a big fight here, diving in on these units, but this was not the fight that blue wanted to take. This was favoring the obelisks from the start. The only way they were safe from the obelisks was standing under the castle and shooting over. Like shooting the obelisks as they, if they tried to engage. But now you've lost all protection for your castle, and we've got a longswordsman from blue. Is that... okay, Japanese longswordman, makes sense. The infantry, very dangerous for the Japanese. They've got that faster attack speed. But in this circumstance, you're going to have a hard time dealing with archers with longswords, basically. And now the castles are going to be under attack of each other. And it looks like red's castle outranges exactly blue's castle by 1 space, which must be making blue sweat. And red's gone into the Imperial Age, so now we're going to start seeing trebuchets come out, and this isn't actually too good. Team 1 needs to get someone in the Imperial Age already so they can start trebbing back. Orange, if Orange has resources, they need to leave, build a town center somewhere else, and try and get back into this game instead of fighting this, because this isn't beneficial to anyone. And Grey kind of needs to let this go as well. Again, just a siege workshop, smash down the buildings, and then leave. Don't get bogged down in this back and forth of building castles on a essentially dead player. Your team's going to need you pretty soon. But we are seeing Green's going into the Imperial Age, Grey's going to the Imperial Age, Teal onto the way to the Imperial Age. Teal has been just booming up, I imagine, pretty safely in the back there. Yeah, 91 Vils. Doing the team thing, building a castle in the back. That's interesting. I think that's not a terrible idea, because again, if the enemy gets inside, now Teal has this nice wall here, or Aqua has this nice wall, and then the enemies will have to go down this way and run towards the castle. Shoot through resources. I would start at this point, if I was these teams, start trying to control the map a lot more aggressively. We have Cavaliers out for the Persian player in pink, and we've got Trebuchets now trebbing down this castle, and we're going to see Grey's going to attempt to get some sort of military up, but I don't know if they've seen the Cavaliers, and unless they have a strong military presence, that's not going to work. Should just start hitting these Vils with your Vils. Okay, I still think you should hit the Vils with your Vils. Don't wait for your military to get there, start interrupting. And we're going to see Blue's going to lose a castle here to Red's double Trebs, and I love the wall built along there just to guard the way. And I imagine that Treb will soon turn to Green's castle as well. Orange has lost this castle. I don't know what the attempt was intended to be out there. Please don't lose this Vil to a wolf. Or do, that would be hilarious. And yes, there goes that Grey tower. And now we're getting war wagons. I don't know how war wagons fare against cavalry, Cavaliers especially. I guess no amount of war wagon is going to deal with that number of Cavaliers. And even though these are keeps, I don't think they'll fare very well against Cavalier either. Cavalier just have so much health and armor. But the Cavaliers have decided to retreat, not risking fighting under the tower when there's trebuchets nearby. And there is a lot of Grey economy over here, which is actually a little bit scary, because while Grey started building in the enemy base, they haven't got much back home. So if they lose this forward position, that's going to favor the Team 2 players who are pushing in. And Team 2 is actually maintaining a score lead despite losing basically a player right now. And that's because pink and yellow just boomed and boomed and boomed, and they're so powerful right now. They are eating through their resources, they're expanding into the great area. We've got some elite Mangudai coming out, and I imagine we'll start seeing a swarm of them prowling the map pretty soon. How many is that already? 13, 14? More no building Red's University now. Green trying to get a castle up, but a big fight going on here between Knights and Japanese Pikes. The Pikes have driven that off, but they should get cleaned up with the Arbs. Got some Eagle Warriors coming through. Alright, looks like the castle will go up. It's close, and now we see the trebuchets starting to rain down, but Blue's gotten into the base and is actually attacking the Trebs. Take him out. Good job, Blue. And in fact, this is a sort of an open area. You just run like 10, if you can afford, 10 footmen into there, 10 longswords, and you cause the enemy a nightmare. Better to do with Cav, obviously, but now we've got the Paladin out for pink. Oh, that is scary. Team 1 should be trembling at the fact that pink has so many Paladins on the map. It is very difficult to shut that down. We do see Teal now getting Paladins as well, so that should make this actually a pretty good fight. If Teal engages pink, could actually do a lot of good work. Just needs a little bit of support there from something to maybe wear the blows, like if an ally has halbs or something to the effect, to even out the fight. And they are playing as the Franks, so they have those good cavalry line. I believe the Franks have a good cavalry line. Either way, we're seeing the Mangudai come in onto this tower and now getting chunked down. What? Don't lose your Mangudai. They're expensive and really not worth chasing after some skirmishes and Arbs. Yeah, now retreat them back. Don't lose too many. Lost too many, to be honest, for that situation. And right now, Green and Blue are really struggling on this front, and Grey has been almost completely driven out at this point. That being said, Pink has lost a lot of Paladins for what's been going on. And there goes the town center, which is honestly devastating. More in the back, you see the Paladins now chewing through this barracks. Halberdiers aren't going to achieve too much, but Pink seems hesitant to directly engage in this fight. But right now, this is the real front, and we're seeing these war wagons coming up and get destroyed real quick. Teal might be the playmaker here. I felt like they had a little bit of an uncertain start with some of their choices, but I feel like right now, they're in a really strong position to suddenly sweep the game by storm with their overwhelming numbers. Blue, on the other hand, I would be scared if I was blue. I would be building a castle, you know, defensive castles in the back. I'd be preparing for the enemy to come to me. You know, trying to get some siege up, trying to get some trebs, trying to get some defensive trash or something to fight off. Like, you've got elite skirms here, but they're not doing much against Mangudai. Mangudai are so devastating, it's very hard to counter them, just in any sense. But I'd be preparing for them to come, maybe get Onager and try and clear them out that way. And Grey now has been completely driven out. I imagine at this point they're giving up on this area, and they're going to start... What's Grey's plan from here? I don't see anything in the back pocket for Grey, and I'm a little worried it's because they lost a lot of their economy. Yeah, they're down to 64 Vils, 65 Vils, so they're only beating Orange in Vils right now, and all three of these players in the Team 2 outnumber the Vils in Team 1. Very scary. Teal is going for a massive run by. Orange, you are far too late to stop this. Just start killing Vils, I guess. I mean... Are you going to start bashing on the gate? You should be killing Vils. Why did you worry about the gate? You got Mangudai right there. You need to be very careful. I mean, if Aqua pulls this off and gets in, and breaks the wall down and gets in, Pink's economy has nothing protecting it. There is not a thing in there that'll save it. But these Mangudai are standing scared. They could be going in and picking fights. Pink's about to lose so much. Oh no. Yeah, here we go. Aqua knows that it's about to go down. And it's down, and now they're in. They are in Pink's entire economy. Pink's gonna lose all these Vils. Just attack, just attack, just attack. Don't... Or are you gonna try and snipe a town center or something? Just attack. Look, the Mangudai are coming now, but they're right on top of these knights, or these paladins. Frankish paladins. And they're gonna get chewed through. No, they're doing good. Yeah, going straight for the town center. I think that's a mistake. Should have just killed all the Vils. Mangudai is sort of going down. We see more paladins coming off to fight. I would have just split in 2 or 3 or 4 and just gone to the different corners and hunted units. Sort of seeing that now, but the Mangudai are kiting and kiting, and we're going to see a lot of dead paladins here. Really need to be getting into these wood lines. Just chew through Vils so that Pink doesn't have as many. Sniping the TC, not as important, I feel like, compared to the sheer number of Vil kills that could have been gotten there. I think what's really important is it's taking pressure off Green and Blue right now, and Grey as well, because they've been so distracted with the other enemies. We're going to see some pikes come in here, try and fight this Arbalest, but all the Arbalests have right-clicked onto that tower. Nope, they're turning around and chewing through these pikes. Halberdiers, sorry. I know this is very exciting that the Paladins got cleaned up, and here we go. They need to not target the town center. Target the Vils, run around, be distracting, be annoying. Don't clump up like this, because you will die. Yeah, well, I guess at this point the right thing to do is to just right-click that town center and destroy it, because Pink doesn't actually have more town centers. They only have the 3 in here. So, well, now the 1 in here, and that's been very effective. And I don't know if Pink actually has the numbers to quite win this. This is going to be a fairly close fight if the Paladins all engage. Grab everything. Alright, fight, fight, fight. Go for it. Just fight, Aqua. Teal, Aqua, whichever you are. Yeah, Teal's not losing this. Teal's winning this fight right now. No, don't run away, you had it. You were doing really good, you still have the numbers. Damn it, I'm really sad, because they had the numbers. I know Pink's reinforcing, but they were chewing through, and they're not going to see too much success here. I mean, you'll have to right-click individually peasants to kill them. Yeah, see, this hasn't worked out. You wanted just to take that fight and kill as many as you could, or run out of the base and go elsewhere. I hope Teal's got a big follow-up. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of Paladins come out from the back here. And they're fighting now, and they are getting... Look, Pink's villager economy is down to 30. That is devastating. Pink is going to be out of this game for a while, just riding on the resources they currently have. That was actually really valuable for the entire team, for Teal to run in and do that. Again, I would have liked to have seen if they split up in like 4 groups, just started hitting each zone, but that was so good for this team. It's taken all the pressure off on this side of the map. Orange is trying to get back in the game, but now Orange and Pink have the lowest 2 Vil counts, and Team 1 has caught up in bill count. Team 1 has caught up in economy and research, as Blue is now getting fast furnacing, forging, I can't remember which one it is, and getting the champion upgrade on these two-handed swordsmen. So we're going to see some really devastatingly powerful champions come in, but they are going to get cleaned up by these Mangudai. They have no hope of fighting that. Again, need onagers, need something ranged and splat that just takes them out. You cannot fight them with infantry. It will not work. Not Mangudai. The Paladins have a chance just because they're so tanky, but you can basically get kited indefinitely by Mangudai. I wouldn't even send Elite Eagle Warriors. Like the Skirmishers, maybe. Yeah, the Skirmishers are going to do alright, but the Elite Eagles are going to get pretty badly hurt. 8 Pierce Armor versus 12 attack. But there's just so many of them and they attack so quickly. They're just getting cleaved through. It's not a good exchange. Now Blue's running in with just a few champions and they'll also get picked off. So Yellow's just doing the right thing. Back up, shoot. Back up, shoot. And we see another 60 Paladins going in. This time go for Yellow. I think that might be the plan, is go for Yellow. Yes, and split them up. Some Paladins take the town center. Some Paladins bash the gate. Get inside Yellow's economy. And you see, again, what Yellow should do is, be blocking this wall really quickly. As quick as they can, with just a bunch of buildings. And this is what I was saying, the natural defense is back here. Natural defense there. Build a wall there, enemy comes through there, not going to get through. Enemies knock through here, you try and quickly lock off here and force them through a single path, or, block it off in some way. Blue space, very open. Enemies that get in here will be able to run around wherever they want. Pink space, there was no sort of possibility to lock these units out, and now, again, Aqua is in here again, or Teal. We see Grey is continuing to try and drive off Pink with Halberdiers and Arbalest. That's not a bad effort. We've got Pink pushing up, on the other hand, with Trebuchets smashing that gate, but I don't know if they have the numbers to quite handle this. It's going to be very close. I see a cannon go down there, bombard cannon, but losing a lot of numbers on both sides. I think Pink just overwhelmed that. The Halberdiers weren't that scary, whereas Yellow is smashing in here now through Blue's base, and the Red has a castle right on the front doorstep. The battles are getting really tense and fierce here, as both sides are just bringing their all. Meanwhile, they are in Yellow's base. Yellow's economy is going to be in shambles, whereas Green, Teal, Grey, even Blue for the most part, their economies are not that badly hurt. The biggest impact they're going to have right now is starting to lose trade to these Mangudais pushing in. And you just see here unit after unit pouring out of the Japanese barracks, trying to fend this off. And Yellow's going to start retreating. There's been the ping going down. Yes, pings everywhere of what's going on. Pink is coming back in, and Pink has a really mighty army there. That is actually really difficult to deal with, but Grey has nothing. And again, nothing, no wall. You need a wall across here. Don't bother building just palace there, like building single wall tiles. Build gates, build structures. You really need it right now to be defending you. I'm surprised Pink pulled back from this gate, because that gate's not going to last long with 3 Trebs there. You want your knights right on that. Actually, it's going to take a while to take that down, apparently. And how's the fight going down here? The Mangudai have retreated again. A bunch of skirms shooting. Pink resigned! Oh, that is devastating for Team 2. Team 2 without Pink. Pink is their giant military ball. Pink is in Grey's base, basically, and Yellow goes as well. Seeing the devastation, all town set is gone. Orange has thrown in the towel. Red has got to be feeling pretty salty about this. With how that was looking, I am honest to God shocked that this team gave up. Pink was about to kill Grey. Grey could put these walls up, but with 3 Trebs, those walls would not last. Walls would go down. Grey has no protection in here. Grey had no military. They have no production in here to defend with. They lost everything. They lost absolutely everything, and Pink was in. Pink had no economy, admittedly. Really bad. Orange struggling the entire game. Teal in Yellow's base, destroying all these buildings. Red in a very strong position, basically untouched. Castles And look at these barracks. That is just terrifying. And stables and castles and yellow had the Mangonite numbers. They were pressuring in on blue, and blue was spamming with everything they had to keep this going, to keep alive. I feel like give it another 5-10 minutes, grey would have been out. But at the same time, yes, when your economy is hit this bad, and Teal's got to be feeling great. Teal was basically left untouched the entire game. Nobody went knocking, and after however long, just had a ball of paladins and just ran up, smashed down the gates. Ran, like, this was a direct line, right? Ran straight in. There wasn't any tricks or cleverness. Like, there wasn't any getting around the enemy's defenses. There was just nothing here. Ran in, bashed a gate, ran in, took down 2 TCs. Came in, bashed down a TC, bashed down a gate, ran in. Yellow should have had a wall up. Yellow should have seen this coming. Yellow should have had some sort of defense in place. This is why I was talking the importance of structuring your base in a very defensive fashion. I'm trying, like, this is a good example almost. It's a pretty decent example, right? Yes, pink was in, but you've got this wall straight here, wall straight here. Now the enemy isn't in anymore. That's it. They are locked out through another wall. That's because there were things to branch off of and build off of. If you naturally structured your base like Aqua Teal has done here, where you naturally have those walls, it's very easy to build behind them as well, because the enemy has to walk up to this building to shoot over it if they want to stop you. And if they don't have the range units, it's just very easy to build behind that as well. So I think important moments in this game was grey getting in here and orange really struggling throughout, but this was the playmaker. The paladins being in the raiding, like I said, I would have preferred it if they split up and just went straight for Vills straight away. Would have devastated Pink's economy even sooner. But I think destroying the town centers did mean that Pink couldn't recover their economy. And there is some blame to go, not on the defensive side, but on the expansion side of these teams, where they hadn't built further town centers into the map. They're building mining camps out here, which isn't bad, but there's a case to be made of building a town center out somewhere in the middle on these resources to try and collect. And I think the final damning factor was that while it wouldn't have been an enormous number, I'm trying to double click on these trade cards. You know, we've got 4 trade cards there for blue. There's probably a few more around. You know, there's at least 2, 3, 4 around for teal. You know, 5 or so. They had trade already going, whereas these teams didn't. If yellow had gotten on that trade, it probably would have been enough to shut it down. Basically, no one had gold anymore in their bases. Grey still had a fair bit, but everyone was running out of gold. I feel like this would have been a game worth playing out just to see what happened, but the moral factor, being demoralized by your enemy's attacks, really does devastate you. And when you have a situation like this, it is so disheartening. Because you can see, I can't actually show you, I'm trying to show you a resource. Well, I can't show you the Vil counts at the end there, it's locked onto this pine tree. But at the end of the game, it really is demoralizing when an enemy gets to do that, and there's nothing to sort of counter it, and you just feel so bad that you want to quit. I think both sides played really good. Like I said, I feel like this is where I fit in to the game best. And it's good to see players playing in this way and pulling off their strategies and doing different things. So please join me again for more of this in the future. I kind of enjoy Age of Empires 2. It's a great little experience. And I will see you again for the next random drop-in. Thank you. Just real quick, I decided to check these scores because I thought that was very rude of me to quit out in that fashion. Let's have a look. Military. Yellow, top of the charts. That is not a surprise to me. Look at those units killed. Those Mangonite were so effective. Orange, these units lost. Pink raised so many of Grey's buildings. Units converted. Only 1. Largest army. Pink again had the largest army. Could have really pushed home, I think, and potentially taken Grey out. Economy. Yellow was top of the charts until right at the end of there. I imagine Pink was also really high in things until they got their own economy devastated. The trade profit was all teal and blue. Technology, it's an interesting picture to see the uptimes of the different teams. Like Pink was first up in basically every situation, but despite getting the Paladin and saving Orange, did not manage to radically alter the outcome of the game at the end there. Grey seemed to definitely stonewall them, while on the flip side, Team 1 was much slower to the Castle Age in general. You see, Teal was the fastest there, which is, again, impressive. They sort of launched up to the Imperial and just started spamming, and blue last to the Imperial out of Team 1. Still managed to put up a good fight and hold off yellow for so long. And then in Society count, again, Villager High, we had massive Vill counts for Team 2. Team 1 only really hovered around the 100 for all of them. But the devastating impact of getting attacked by so many Paladins, killing so many Vills, really brought the game down for them. And so that was the interesting way it went. You see Orange squeezed slowly out there. And you see that Pink's economy just vanished. Yellow's economy going the similar way. So yeah, again, good showing. Thank you for watching, and join again for the next video.